Howdy, everybody. Graz from the GKBC with a special. Um, few, well, at the end of June, sorry, I'm distracted. AJ's messing with the camera after I started talking, which I always hate.
Just do your thing.
I know, you say that, but it's hard for me. It spikes me a little bit. At the end of June, or at the beginning of July, I did a kind of a review of books that I read in June. I did the 5 best and the 5 worst rated by me. So I haven't done that since, and it's October. Summer just ended, so I thought that I would give you, I'm going to do 2 videos on this. I'm going to give you my 15 worst or lowest ranked books and my 15 highest ranked books for the summer months, July, August, and September. In this video, I will give you the worst. So these are my lowest 15 books of the summer. Yippee-ki-yay. So I'm just going to jump into it. I'm not going to be showing any of them. I'm going to tell you the name of the book, the author, the number of pages, my rating, the Goodreads rating, and then the number of ratings and reviews on Goodreads. And one of these is kind of funny or sad. I don't know how you want to look at it, but we'll just jump into it. Number 15 is The Regulator by Ray Hogan. 132 pages. It's a Western. I rated it a 6.26 out of 10, which cut in half for Goodreads is a 3. Well, this is the one that's sad or funny or whatever you want to think about, because the Goodreads rating is 3, and it has 1 rating and 1 review, and it's mine. So, I don't know, maybe I just had a weird edition, whatever, but that's number 15. The cats always love to make my anxiety just jump off the charts in the middle of these, because they immediately come up and start rubbing on the camera. I mean, go do something else, please. Number 14 is The Last Templar by Raymond Corey. 523 pages. This was my brick for, I want to say it was September. Started out okay. Had kind of an interesting mystery in it. I could see right away and all through why it's called a knockoff of the Da Vinci Code, because it kind of is. But I was willing to give it a chance, but then the end was just too unbelievable to so it got a 6.25 out of 10, which for me again is a 3 something, like a 3.13 or something like that. On Goodreads it's a 3.62, and that's out of 44,097 reviews or ratings and 1,886 reviews. Remember, these are going to go in decreasing, so number 1 on this will be the worst book I read over the summer. Number 13 is The Employees by Olga Raven. It's R-A-V-N. 139 pages, and this was my science fiction book for one of the months. 6.08 out of 10, which is a 3.04, and somehow on Goodreads it got a 3.7. And that's over 10,929 reviews or ratings. I'll try to get that right. And 1,818 reviews. AJ and the daughter are laughing at me. It's okay. At number 12 is The 7 Dials Mystery by Agatha Christie. 375 pages. It got a 6, flat 6 out of 10, which is a 3. On Goodreads, it's a 3.8 out of 5, and that's across 25,714 ratings and 1,840 reviews. I'm going to stop right here and and say if anybody wants to hear more about any of these books on this list. What?
No, I'm just listening.
Oh, anything. If you want to hear anything else about anything on here, if you want me to do a special review about any of these books, I will. Just let me know in the comments. If you read any of these and you liked them, tell me why. Because obviously they didn't quite capture my imagination the way that maybe they could have. Okay, the next one's going to probably get me a look. And I guess I can explain it if I'm asked to. At number 11, Lore Olympus Volume 3 by Rachel Smythe. 384 pages. It got a flat 6, which is a 3. And it got that because it is clearly a middle book in a series. It doesn't have the best setup or the greatest lead out. You can tell that it's a sequel and that it's meant to have a sequel. And I just it does it more so than the rest of the series that I've read. So it was hard for me to rate it as a standalone. If I rated it in the series as a whole, it would actually go higher. But on Goodreads, it's a 4.51, so I'm probably the only one that thinks like that. And that's across 32,659 ratings and 2,556 reviews. Okay, now we're getting into the under 3-star books. Number 10 is Red Moon by Benjamin Percy, and that was 544 pages on the edition that I ended up reading. That ended up a 5.99 out of 10, which is basically a 3, but it's like a 2.98. And on Goodreads, it's a 3.37, and that's over 5,911 reviews and 5,911 ratings and 950 reviews. It was a werewolf book, and I just think he tried to reinvent the wheel too much. It just wasn't very good. I'm waving at AJ because she keeps on looking at me and distracting me because she looks cute tonight. Number 9, Home is the Sailor by Day Keene. 203 pages. This was one of the hard case crime books. Most of these are not that good yet. I mean, I'm hoping that some of them get better. But I gave it a 5.64 out of 10, which is like a 2.82 out of 5. And on Goodreads, it's a 3.65. And that's across 434 ratings, 65 reviews. I got it right that time.
Woo woo.
Yeah.
Ew.
Something nasty's going on behind the camera, everybody. Number 8 is Kiss Her Goodbye by Alan Guthrie. 223 pages. This is another one of the hard case crime books. They're not that good. I gave it a 5.52 out of 10. And I think that is a 2.76. On Goodreads, it's 3.57. And that's across 522 ratings and 57 reviews. Okay, number 7, worst of the summer, The Vigilante by Ray Hogan. I read 2 straight Ray Hogan books for my Westerns. 159 pages. 5.43 out of 10. Excuse me. Which is like a 2.71. On Goodreads, it's a 3.3, and that's across 10 ratings and 4 reviews. So I had company on that one. Then I had what on the bad side, what ended up being my biggest discrepancy. At number 6, worst of the summer, The Thornbirds by Colleen McCullough, 692 pages. It got a 5.19 from me, which is like 5.58 or 5.59, something like that. A 2.59. But on Goodreads, it's a 4.24. So that's the biggest discrepancy I have on the negative side. And that is seriously, I must have something I didn't see. I don't know. I was just bored stiff reading it. 343,042 ratings and 7,503 reviews. So 343,000 people rated it a 4.24, and I've got it as at basically a 2.5. So I must have not saw something in it. I don't know. I'm not the audience for it, apparently. Number 5 is an ace double. I just added it together. It's The Fall of the Dream Machine by Dean Koontz and The Star Venturers by Kay Bulmer. I can't remember what K stands for. My apologies, everybody. It's somewhere else. 253 pages for the 2 stories combined, and I gave that a 5.17, which is like a 2.59, 2.58, something like that. And on Goodreads, those had a 3.44 and over 185 ratings and 16 reviews. Number 4, getting into the good ones, I guess. At number 4, we have Too Scott to Handle by Grace Burrows, 346 pages. This was a bodice ripper, I guess. It got a 5.09 from me, which is 2.54, 2.55. And on Goodreads, it's a 3.84. 2,873 ratings, 315 reviews. Okay, the top 3, such as they are. Number 3, The Golden by, I forgot to put the person's first name on here, somebody Shepherd. It's a vampire book. It was 243 pages. Ugh. Another idiot who tried to reinvent the wheel of something that just works if you do it right. I gave it a 4.95. So what is that? 2.48, I think. And on Goodreads, it's a 3.44 across 650 ratings and 68 reviews. Okay, number 2. Every Vow You Break by Peter Swanson, 308 pages. This is one of those book of the month thriller things, and I had it figured out about 30% of the way through, and I was really hoping that I was wrong, and I ended up not being wrong, and the delivery was bad. It was awful. I'm kind of not happy that I read it. I gave it a 4.48, which is a 2.24. And somehow on Goodreads it's a 3.51, and that's across 47,098 ratings and 5,865 reviews. Some people will read anything and they like it. And number 1 is The Collective by Allison Galen, 335 pages. I think that's another one of these thriller mystery book of the month things. And it felt like it had 4 or 5 twists near the end just to confuse the reader. Just so the author could say, "Ha ha, you didn't figure it out before I gave it to you." Well, how can we if there's no hints? If it's not in the writing, okay, you read 300 pages of this 335 page book, and at page 302 there's a twist. And it's a twist that, I mean, it like the basis of it has never been brought up. You have no idea who this person, I mean, and it's like, okay, you're just putting that in there to try and fool people, and it's really sloppy writing. Plus, I'm not a big fan of a lot of the current authors, if you can call them that, because they write their stories with a huge crutch of the modern technology. Like this Collective, half of it is in a chat room, and half of the other half is like in text messaging, so it's just, I mean, that's it done right, maybe, but I mean, hopefully Allison Galen doesn't come pitchfork me, but she sucks. I mean, there's a reason why this is the worst book of my summer. I gave it a 4.24 out of 10, which is a 2.17. No, 2.12. A 2.12 star. And that's going some, because it's hard to get that low in a rating system, especially when you have categories like I do, and there's always something that you can like about a certain book. Maybe it's the setting, maybe it's the engagement, maybe it's the secondary characters, but there's always something that kind of, so that this is a 2.12 out of 5 is pathetic. And somehow, on Goodreads, it's a 3.93. I don't get it. I don't get it. Some of the people that read these books, they must be so stupid easy to please. And it just shows that anybody can get a book published. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. Maybe I need to finish something. I don't know, but it would be nice if I knew I had an outlet. But 3.93, and that's across 29,842 ratings and 4,292 reviews. Now, all these numbers were last week when I made the sheet, so they might have gone up or changed. But that's my bottom 15 of the summer. I hope I didn't offend anybody watching, unless you're Allison Galen, in which case you deserve to be offended, and you should maybe take a creative writing course and learn how to do a book. But again, if you want to know anything more about any of these books, let me know, and I will be happy to lambaste them in a video. Tomorrow, which would be Saturday, I'll do my top 15, the 15 good ones. Now remember something, I'm not including Macbeth in that, because that was a play, and I kind of feel like it needs to stand on its own as a 4.25 star. So, but according to my rating system, that would be an 8.5. Which, I'm just going to give you a minor spoiler, that would make it the 4th best book that I read over the summer. So, there's that. But tomorrow I'll do the top 15. And please, again, let me know if you liked any of these. And if so, why? I mean, you know, my opinion isn't the end-all be-all here. Maybe I missed something. Maybe I wasn't in the mood that night. Maybe I just didn't get the drift of something that was said. I will promise you one thing, though. It's not because I skimmed. I very, very rarely skim in a book. Even bad ones. Very rarely. It does happen, because I'm human, but not very often. So, hope to see you all in the comments. And you will see me again tomorrow. And maybe even Sunday. I might do Comic Book Sunday. Who knows? So, I guess, until then, let me see here. Every vow you break, number 2 on the list. This was crap, but try and read more.